What's up, everybody? Phil Bleckman with barbend.com, and today we are about a week after the 2020 CrossFit Games finals, and there were some epic moments that are worth taking another look at, and that's what we're going to do today. But first, you got to smash that subscribe button. Come on now, what are you doing? Smash that subscribe button, tap that little notification bell so you can stay up to date on all things powerlifting, CrossFit, strongman, weightlifting, you name it. Barbend's got it better than the rest. After you're done with this video, check all of the latest news out at barbend.com. So we're going to jump right into the corn sack sprint. This was event number 2 of the finals on day 1, and it was what you think it is. It is a sprint up a hill with a corn sack on your back. Now, what the guys did, particularly, was it was a runaway from Matt Fraser, as was most of the weekends. No surprise there. But there was an epic moment that happened right at the finish line with rookie Justin Medeiros and Jeffrey Adler of Canada. Now check this out. Right before Medeiros is going to come in, breathing heavy in 4th place, Adler, out of nowhere, dives past him across the finish line to send the rookie a message. Hey, welcome to the CrossFit Games. You better not let up on the gas until you are crossed the finish line every time. Adler takes over that event. It was an epic first moment, and Medeiros afterwards in a press interview was like, that is a moment he will never forget. Lesson learned. Big first moment for Adler at the 2020 CrossFit Games. We're going to hop over to the CrossFit Total, which was functionally a powerlifting meet at the CrossFit Games, except instead of a bench press, they did an overhead press. So it's an event that consisted of the squat, an overhead press, and a deadlift for the total amount of weight. That was the goal. The highest amount of weight wins. Going in the women's division, we were impressed by how strong, frankly, Brooke Wells was. Brooke Wells pulled a massive deadlift of 432 pounds to pair along with her squat of 315 pounds and her shoulder press, her overhead press of 137 pounds. Really, really epic event for Brooke Wells. She took second, only giving up the loss to Tia-Clair Toomey, who did get to add more weight after seeing what Brooke Wells put on. Brooke Wells coming into that final deadlift was 23 pounds behind Tia-Clair Toomey. She surpassed that, putting up a 432-pound deadlift, and it was only the turn order, most likely, that meant that Brooke Wells did not score the 100 points in that event, but still, really epic moment. Big, big, big game for Brooke Wells. Moving over into the men's side for that CrossFit Total, it was a battle between Matt Fraser and Jeffrey Adler. Again, Jeffrey Adler for another major moment here. Fraser ultimately ended up PRing every single one of his lifts. And in the final lift, remember, Fraser came into the event first. He got to act last. He had the opportunity to take another win if he could best Adler. But he was off on his math. Him and his coach came back with a deadlift. Even though it was a PR deadlift, it was off by 4 pounds. So 4 pounds was the difference maker that made it so the first blemish on Fraser's record in the finals was to Jeffrey Adler in the CrossFit Total, because math is hard. Hopping to the end of day 1, we have the Ranch Loop. Now, the Ranch Loop was an event that took place at the ranch, obviously, Ranch Loop, and it was a grueling run up around the ranch, through the hills, through the woods. It was savage. It did not look like a good time for anybody involved, but Matt Fraser, who was leading the pack, was matched by Justin Medeiros, the rookie. The rookie kept up with the 4-time, at the time, the 4-time fittest man on earth for the entire ranch loop. So they go all the way to the end of the ranch loop. They cross through, they see the finish line. There's the director of the CrossFit Games, Dave Castro, there to greet them. They are tired, they are hot, they are sweaty, and they've completed the run, except Dave Castro's like, wait, you have to run the entire lap again in reverse. Fraser actually flipped Castro the bird. In the end, it was Fraser who came out on top because he was able to pull out a little bit of extra gas in the tank at the end of the run. This wasn't as much of a big moment now. Moving on to swimming stuff, the first event of the final day of competition, but it was still impressive because Samuel Quant bested Matt Fraser in the only event that we can really say he was actually beaten. In the CrossFit Total, there was a math discrepancy. They just didn't do their math properly, but it's feasible that had Fraser just tacked on 5 more pounds to his deadlift and pulled it, he would have won that event. This was the one event on the weekend where Fraser was legitimately beat, and it was in swimming stuff, with which Fraser then said afterwards was the most difficult event in his mind So Samuel Kwant with a big win, putting a blemish on Matt Fraser's incredible record-breaking weekend. Samuel Kwant wins swim and stuff. That's the memorable moment. Samuel Kwant, again, really bringing the heat in day 3. Sprint sled sprint event where you sprint, you get a sled, you bring it back, and then you sprint all the way down the field again. In a photo finish that Fraser won by 0.4 of a second over Samuel Kwant. It was an incredibly fast event, and Samuel Kwant just misses, taking another win away from Fraser by 0.4 of a second. And then the final memorable moment that we are going to cover here in this video is an incredible performance in Atlanta, the final event of the weekend. Dave Castro said that this was going to be the most difficult event to wrap up any CrossFit Games, and Carrie Pierce, oh my God, what a performance in Atlanta. She knew coming into the event that if she was going to have any chance at hitting the podium, that it was going to be besting Haley Adams by at least 2 ranks in Atlanta. That means that she had to either win and Haley come in 3rd, or whatever rank was between. So 2 ranks between Pierce and Adams. That's the only way that Pierce was going to get enough points to snatch 3rd place away from Adams on the podium. And man, did Pierce come out with the gasoline in this event. She was earliest out of the gates in the run. Then she takes down the handstand push-ups into all of the pistol squats, which was insane. And then gets all 300, yeah. All 300 pull-ups done before anybody else, and then runs the 2nd mile and comes back before anybody else. She does it within an hour. All 10 competitors in the finals, both the men's division and the women's division, competed at the same time, and Pierce tore the house down, bringing her A game, besting everybody. Nobody could keep up with Pierce. She scores 1st place. She ends up using those points to get onto the podium and be the first American woman to get onto the podium in years. What a final event for Carrie Pierce. And those are the most memorable moments from the 2020 CrossFit Games. I'm Phil Bleckman for barbend.com, and we will catch you next time.